You are listening to a Blazing Caribou Studios production.
Welcome. Join me on this journey, won't you? You're listening to In the Mix. Hey there, mixers and hide and seekers. This is In the Mix. I'm Mixter Hyde, and I'll be your host and guide on this wild ride. Each week, I talk about culture and interview people making culture, oftentimes other podcasters. I believe that everyone has a story to tell and a message to share, and I intend to hear as many of those as possible. Join me and let's discover something. Hey you guys, welcome again to the fantastic, ever wonderful, ever present, those are all lies, but whatever, the welcome to In the Mix. You guys, I'm so happy to have you guys here again. It is super great. So I have really exciting news, and I'm so excited to share that news. In the Mix is now part of the Blazing Caribou Studios network. Dun dun dun! Isn't that amazing? What? Yes. So we are, in fact, joining that network. We're in the process of like the sort of like moving things over process. I'm trying desperately to make sure that it does not involve the changing of the RSS feeds for y'all. I think I'm gonna figure that out. It should be fairly easy. But anyway, thank you guys so much. This is so exciting. I'm really excited to be joining that network. Also, my other show, Criminal Musings, will be joining that network as well, which is really fun. I honestly couldn't be more pleased and more proud of both of the shows. I'm just so very, very, very excited. Now, that is all wonderful and great. However, we have a mission today. The mission that we have today... We have a mission today. Girl, that sounds so serious. The mission, quote unquote, that we have today is to... Well, listen, I guess, is to listen to the people that I interviewed. That's sort of the mission and goal of, like, all of the episodes. So, you know, nothing new, really. But, I suppose I should actually introduce the guests ahead of time. So, my guests this week are Fran Evans and Alvin Williams from Affirmative Murder. Affirmative Murder is honestly one of my favorite new podcasts. I was really excited to get to talk to fellow people of color who are also true crime podcasters, because that, weirdly enough, is a super small list of people. I'm really proud to be on that list. It is really cool. And there aren't that many shows that are on that list, and this is one of the really amazing ones. So I really hope that you check the show notes and go listen to their show. They're pretty great and always improving, and that is wonderful. I'm pleased to say that I've been supporting them for as long as I have been. Yeah, so this is the first of 3 episodes with Fran and Alvin. Enjoy. All right. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the show. So I'm so excited that you guys are here.
Oh, we're excited to be here.
Yeah.
This makes me so happy. I don't frequently have a whole lot of guests of color, which makes me very sad. Like it's just nice to have. It's nice to have family in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can talk about stuff we talk about behind closed doors.
Exactly. Yes. So I think the best place to start is to have you guys introduce Affirmative Murder, which is your guys' show.
Yes.
All right. So we'll start with that.
Okay. Well, I'm Alvin.
I'm Frank.
And we are the hosts of Affirmative Murder. It is a true crime podcast, but we focus on, lesser known minority crimes. When we first started, like the first 3 episodes, I kept saying black, but we ended up going outside the box because like it's like a list of super known black serial killers, and the list starts to dwindle down. So I was like, we should expand all people of color and all lesser known stories, because I'm tired of seeing 17 documentaries about how clever Ted Bundy was and how menacing John Wayne Gacy was. It's like, I know it. The thing we were nervous about was, conservative people coming back with the whole, well, a murderer is a murderer. What does it matter what color the person is? But when you frame these serial killers that way, and the big ones are mostly white, they frame them as if they're geniuses, or their cunning is unmatched by anyone, and that it makes it seem like only white people can be this clever of a person and get away with these terrible crimes. So I wanted to shine a light on the victims who were victims of people of color who, were able to do the same thing, as cunning, as clever, as dangerous as the Ted Bundys and the Jeffrey Dahmers of the world.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, I knew that already as I've listened to every episode thus far. So, I knew that. But also, hearing that as a description makes a lot of sense. I just started my own true crime show, and I basically had that same idea, which is it's getting annoying hearing about the same people over and over and over again. So it's nice to branch out a bit and to talk about the other crazies out there. Yeah. I love your guys' show. I do a lot. It makes me happy.
That makes us happy to hear that, really.
Yeah. I'm so glad you guys started the show, and I'm glad you guys are here. It makes me so delighted to have a true crime show out there. Well, yeah. So the first true crime show that I knew that was hosted by a person of color was Kiara's from Crime and Color.
Yeah.
And had her on here immediately. Obviously. And then I found you guys, and I was like, yes, this is perfect. More. Yes.
I saw her description. She's from Maryland too. Yeah. So I was like,
yeah,
the home team, man.
Yeah, I was so surprised when I realized, wait, y'all are both right there. Oh my god. Yeah. It's amazing.
I seen her page over the weekend, her Twitter page, and I remember I sent it to you, Alvin, and I was like, whoa, her description of her podcast was just like the exact same as ours. I was like, wow. I was like,
there's also this other podcast that we kind of like our sister podcast. They're really cool. It's about damn crime.
Yes, Queen. I love them too.
The two Latina girls from Las Vegas, and they've been really cool, and we've been talking back and forth and shouting each other out. So, and we like what they do. They actually just did one about right around this time's perfect. It's a story of this Native American tribe that was getting slaughtered, for their oil rights. It was a pretty crazy story.
Yeah, really. What I listened to it. I actually just finished listening to it earlier today on my way back home. It was really good and utterly horrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, not a surprise, because let's be real, we're sort of used to hearing that kind of thing in terms of here come the white people to fuck things up again. Just every time. I really enjoyed that episode, though. I think they did a great job.
It really was one of my favorite episodes because, you hear about how royally Native American people got fucked, but then when you hear that, it wasn't just brutality, they also were using laws and, little slick ways. It wasn't just, go kill them all. They also, down the line, fucked them, put them in, plottable land. It was really crazy. I never thought of it that way. You only see the cowboys and Indians kind of thing of guns and they shoot each other, but also you see hear stories of them using bureaucracy to fuck you. It's oh wow, so you just got them on every angle.
Yeah, it's fucking horrifying and so awful, and I think about that a lot. I mean, I don't know. Words. It's one of these drinks has already gone to my head. This is wonderful. I don't know how the fuck that happened. But
cocktail.
Yeah. Oh, it's real fucking tasty. But yeah, I really liked that episode. I love pretty much all of their episodes. I just love all of them. It's wonderful. They came on the show too. I had them on before. Yeah, I think it was episodes 8. Was it episode 18?
I just last week listened to only 2 of the girls from Wine and Crime, which I love that. It was great interviews.
Oh, thank you.
I love those because when I first started listening to it, I thought it was like 2 white women and a preppy black girl because Kenyon is one of the blackest names I've ever heard in my life. God. When I listened to your show, she was like, "Oh yeah, my other name is Lachelle," or like her real. I was like, "What?" I was like,
"Yup."
Yeah, I'm still convinced she might be black, but she said she's not. So Lachelle / Kenyon is, or no, I'm sorry, Lucy was Lachelle. I'm sorry.
Yep, Lucy.
It was like so now it's like 2 of them that might be black.
Lachelle, Kenyon, and Amanda. But I mean, Amanda is still Amanda's still one of those names that I'm like, well,
plenty of black Amandas.
Mm-hmm. Oh God. I went to school with one. That's funny. Wow. But yeah, like I love them so much. They're amazing. I had them, I'm working on a bunch of different projects because of course I am. I'm always doing these things. But, they were so awesome. They agreed to like all 3 of them be on that project and they all acted on it and they all did a great job and it's going to be really fun. Like Kenyon's part already got released because of reasons. It was a good promo, I felt. She did such a great job. I can't wait to figure out what I'm going to have her do the next season of that. It's going to be really great. They're like that. I find that their show is one of the ones that has a really unique template that's different from the way other shows operate, which I think is why they work really well.
For sure. It's like everybody has a job.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like we come and we have a job, but it's the same job. Whereas, Kenyon does this, Lucy does the background, Amanda kind of is the wild card, but she kills it. She, I think she's everybody's favorite for the most part because she kind of sounds like Homer Simpson, but like effeminate Homer Simpson. Awesome. I love their whole dynamic. It's so great.
I've always said her voice reminds me of Kathleen Madigan. Which makes me really happy because she's one of my favorite comedians. Her conversation is, I think hers was the longest of the 3 and it was really, there were some gems in that one, let me tell you. Like, woo, there was like, she would like finish a sentence and I was like, damn. I had to sit. I was like, ooh, I had to sit with things for a moment. There was a moment at which I like almost cried for no reason. It's fine. It's a real good interview. Like I really do enjoy interviewing. I also think I had about a bottle of wine at that point.
Oh, so I think
it was like a wine.
Like they're open.
Yeah, it was like a wine crying type situation. That's sort of how that's not how I usually handle things, but well, it is what it is.
We all need a good wine cry from now and then. Sometimes it's good to just sit down, put Scandal on, and just go through 3 bottles of wine and let your feelings be your feelings.
Yes. Oh my God. That just reminded me that I haven't watched Scandal in a while. Ooh.
Come on, JV. What are you doing, man?
In fairness,
last season.
I'm probably gonna just marathon the last few seasons that I missed. I just didn't have the time for it, and things got. Yeah, like you gotta like actually watch that show.
Yeah, you can't just put it on the background.
Exactly. Yeah, so I'm like, I'll leave it alone for a bit, and like over the summer when I have like nothing to do for like 3 weeks, I'll put it on then, and I'll watch all of it. I guess by that point it'll be over, so that'll be cool to do.
You just gotta dodge those spoilers.
Oof. Yeah,
right.
I mean, I don't worry about spoilers personally. Like, I don't worry about them. They don't bother me that much. Like, just in general. Like, because I'll probably forget is really what it is. Like, I'll probably forget as soon as I step into the theater, or like for like movies, for example. Like as soon as I step into the theater, I'm there for like the full experience.
Yeah.
So I will forget everything anyone told me ahead of that, and I will just be there. I will watch. I will be so excited. Like, with Civil War, with Captain America: Civil War, I knew that Black Panther would appear, not because I'd seen it in a trailer or anything, but because someone told me. And I forgot. Yeah, I straight up forgot and was so fucking surprised. And I was like, yes! And I was like, so that makes so much better. Yes. Oh my god. That was the best.
In this what?
That saved the whole movie for me.
Yeah, that movie. He stole the show.
Oh, he definitely
stole the show. Right. I'm so excited for the Black Panther movie. I am so excited for the Black Panther movie.
February's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be so good, and it's just gonna. I'm excited because it's a black director. It's gonna open up the floodgates. We can do movies that can make billions of dollars. Just give people the keys, man. I'm excited. I think this movie's gonna open up a lot of floodgates. This and Get Out. It's like,
yeah,
absolutely. Let us do it. You know, we got it. We got this.
Let us make things. Just sort of, yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's. Oh man. And like I wonder if that merger is actually going to go through with wherein Marvel will acquire the X-Men again.
Oh.
Because then the follow-up for Black Panther will be beyond lit, because then we'll have Storm there and everything will make sense.
Yes.
If they can somehow work Storm into the universe that late in the game, but whatever, that's fine.
Beautiful fictional Africa will be amazing.
Yes.
And just the visuals of the movie with the facial, the tribal paint, and the body modifications, it just looks like it's gonna be incredible, man. I'm really excited.
Oh, absolutely. They got so many amazing actors for it. It just, oh my god, they're so great. I actually got in trouble on Twitter for arguing with someone about the fact that they were surprised that Africa looked that good.
Oh, come on.
I was like, what? Why are you surprised? Do you think that most of Africa is just savanna? Because that's not the case. Like, there's
more lions than people.
Yeah, I'm like, the Lion King lied to you.
It's 2017 there too. You know, it's like.
But I think a lot of people think like that, though.
Oh, for sure. A lot of people think that, and a lot of people think Africa is just one giant country. But it's like America. It's bigger than the United States. Yeah, it's bigger than the United States, and it's like. I don't even know how many countries are in there, you know, and there's wealthy countries and there's poor countries. Just like, you know, it's like there's wealthy cities and there's poor cities in America.
Yeah.
But, so you had an argument? Like,
I did. It was like...
It's in Africa, bro.
Was literally... Well, since it was back when we only had 140, it was just sort of me saying... Initially, it was just me saying something shady to them. Yeah. And then they're like, what? Why did you break... Literally... Because obviously this person was white. So they literally like, well, but why, like, why did you bring race into this? I'm like, I didn't. I said Africa. I didn't actually say anything about race, but whatever. That's fine. Now you've opened the gates. Now I'm just going to go off. So, like, well, yeah. And then just gave them a history lesson. And they're like, but I was talking to my teacher about Afrofuturism. And I'm like, that's a fucking lie. You weren't doing that at all. Like, that wasn't what that was from. But if it was, then I'm actually still shocked that you said that shit anyway, because like, what? Like,
you've been studying up on it.
Yeah, like, it's just, it makes me upset, but it's fine. I get into a lot of fights on Twitter, and that's sort of how they come up usually, is somebody will say something that they don't usually mean to be as shitty as it is.
Yeah, it's ignorant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I gotta gather them edges, and honestly...
Yeah, it's 2017, man. We can't let people just keep walking around being ignorant. We gotta help them.
Exactly.
And that means we get into a fight, and that's fine. But we can come, at the end of that, we can shake hands, or not, but at least you know where I'm coming from now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I normally, at the end of those arguments, I tend to just be like, I hope that you understand why the fuck I went through all of this. Like, and that they appreciate that I just sat there and actually did anything.
Yeah.
Because, like, I have so many things that I could be doing, like other than explaining shit to people that is freely available on the internet. Like, the one delightful thing about like think pieces and things are the fact that like they're available and they're usually pretty good.
Yeah.
And a person can read those and get the information that I just tried to drill into their head.
Yeah, at this point, if you're ignorant to something, it's because you choose to be.
Exactly.
Google is the fastest thing on the planet. Anybody doesn't know anything is because you don't want to know it.
Exactly.
You don't know why people are taking this stance on that. It's because you just don't want to know why. You already have your mind made up. Because you could easily go read an article, a nonpartisan article that isn't just from that. So you can read an article that's from a person straight in the middle, giving you the facts from both sides.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry,
I was saying people choose not to do that.
Yeah, they do, and it's very upsetting. I was teaching a class yesterday, because I do too many things. It's fine. I was teaching a class on how to be an effective ally, which is it's a relatively easy thing, but one of the main points of it is do your goddamn homework, and go look things up, because honestly, or even better, you could also just listen. Like, you just listen, because people are going to say it anyway.
Yeah.
As long as you're just listening and thinking, oh, they're talking about race. Let me listen to what they're saying so I can understand the issue.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why that's not people's first instinct, but fine. That tends to get weird a little bit.
So it's people should want to do things that make them uncomfortable, especially when it comes to that. It's like, as opposed to being like, oh boy, they're going there again. Let me put my headphones on. Let me ignore this conversation on the train because I know where this is going. Why don't you just listen, and then you don't have to take it for the gospel, but you can go home and do your own research from what you heard on the train or in passing by or from some person at your job who's like, how they're treating Colin Kaepernick is unfair. It's like, oh, well, listen, LaQuisha, that's none of my business, but America for, one of those kind of things. I just kind of read it off and move on. Yeah.
Comfortable, that's why.
Yeah, well, you should, I like to live in uncomfortability. That's where the best conversations come from.
Exactly. Shit, let's get uncomfortable. I mean, just whatever. That sounded weird, but anyway, no, that just gave me like flashbacks for the briefest of moments where I was like, oh, every conversation I've ever had in my life. No. Oh man, it was insane. But I think the most insightful question that I got from the students yesterday was, it was really, I guess it wasn't necessarily that it was a super insightful question. It was just that it was one that, I don't know, I thought it was a good one, and I'm glad that person was thinking it, and that they came to the ultimate realization while they were asking me the question what the answer actually was. Mm-hmm. That made me real happy. But the question was like, well, what do you do if one person says something is okay and another person says it's not okay? And then I'm like, well, I'm like that. Well, see, here's the thing. If you're only looking at this and you're getting resources from exactly two people, yeah, it's like you're doing it wrong. But also, like, again, that's part of the doing the homework, because if you go and you look at that and you then look at the reasons why, that'll be very helpful in terms of coming up with an actual reason for certain things or a reason against certain things. And then you get to make the decision on your own which of those you're going to focus on. But like, yeah, that was my basic answer to them. And they sort of realized it as they were asking it to me. Like, I could see it dawning in their eyes as they were saying the words. And I'm like, yeah,
for sure. Like a perfect example for that we go through on a typical basis is like, I don't want any person, the N word is a touchy subject, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am not going to fight every person that uses the word, but please don't call me the word. So, for example, me and Fran have been friends since we were 12 years old. We play basketball and stuff. It's a hip hop culture these days. Hip hop is pop. Hip hop is the most pop. It's as pop as Katy Perry or anything. So N word is in the lexicon of everybody's vocabulary. So if we're on the court and, we hear some white guy like, oh, these niggas is fouling out here, yeah, don't call me that. But I'm not going to, start a beef with everybody who's using the word. But I make it clear that I don't want to be called that. But, that guy, if I was to confront him, he'd probably go, well, my friend, whoever lets me call him that because I mean it out of love. And if those are the only two conversations he's had is me saying don't and him saying do, and you have no context for the word because, the Migos say it in a rap song or whatever. That's the only it's like the Migos can say it. So, that's the hottest song in the country. Can I say it? It's like, well, if you're only asking your friend who likes you and me,
that's the only way white people can get away with it. It's like, my friend let me do it.
Yeah, that's the number one excuse. It's like, well, my friend lets me, I have a pass or whatever kind of excuse you have, and that's cool. But I don't want to be called that. And I try to make it known to anybody that directs it towards me. I don't really use the word at all. But I try to make it clear to anybody that directs it towards me, like, look, man, I'm not going to start a beef, but like, don't call me that. And I also kind of, as bad as this sounds, I'm like, check, you're written off. Like I have a list that there's a bunch of things that I'll write somebody off. Like if you eat well done steak, I'm like, all right, I'm writing you off. We're not hanging out. I'm writing you off. I won't tell you, but it's just like I got a little list in my back pocket of like, oh well, I didn't like that you did that, so I won't be hanging out with you anymore.
I feel like that is the most fair possible thing. Like I do that all the fucking time. Like that's my sort of go-to move for a lot of things. Where I'm like,
no confrontation. Yeah, no confrontation. It's like you continue to live your life, your best life possible, and that person's not around you anymore. It's like it's like, oh, okay, you don't like dessert. Well, we don't need to hang out anymore.
It's like, what? Like, you don't fuck with pie? Oh, absolutely not. But that's
yeah, let's go to the Cheesecake Factory. I don't really eat sweets. Okay, well, I'm out. See you later. And by later, I mean never. I'll never see you again.
How many days do you spend at the gym? 7.
I gotta look at the time. Yeah, I gotta go. I'll call you though. I'll talk to you later though.
Oh my god. I just thought of like the 20 people that are on that list for me.
Oh yeah, everybody's got them.
Ooh, that I see all the time. Like I live in a small ass town, so like I see all of these people on a regular basis, and I have to like.
Do you do the headphone trick?
I will duck into a nearby aisle. It's normally in a store. I'll just duck into a nearby aisle that they are not in. Woo! It's like everyone from high school is on that list. So like,
but you sound like you on your phone.
Yeah,
put your head down and keep on walking.
I spend most of my life in the public when I'm by myself with earbuds in, listening to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I can either start bobbing my head like I'm listening to music, or I can give them the finger and go, "Oh, wait, I'm on the phone. Just 1 second," and then I never come back to them. It's like, wait 1 second, I'll be right. I got to finish this phone call, and then you just keep walking and you never stop.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah, I do that. I do that a lot. Fortunately, I have so many podcasts that I listen to that on a daily basis I have hours worth that I can listen to avoid having to actually talk to people. Which is, I mean, I don't dislike talking to people. It's just there are some really annoying people, and I don't want to talk to the annoying ones.
That's nothing but the truth.
There are so many of them. I really wish they would be less annoying, but well, this is how that goes. Though I think that is actually, the N-word example that you just gave is a great pivot into the first question.
Oh.
So fun thing, we haven't even started the questions yet. Haha. But that's a great pivot into the first question.
I knew. I had a feeling, and I followed my instincts, and the pivot was perfect. So you're welcome.
Yeah. Awesome. So we're going to jump into the Wayback Machine.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're going to do this thing where... Okay, so what is your earliest memory?
You want to go first, Ryan?
Of
life.
Earliest
of
memory.
life?
Oh.
Just of life in general?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Ooh. Earliest memory. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. You go first. You take it first. Yeah, you take it first.
My earliest memory is a collection of like 3 memories, all taking place and the next door neighbor of my grandmother who lives in Vegas, they have a pool. So my earliest memory would be I shit in that pool.
I wasn't ready.
I was I was about 5 years.
I'm sorry. I was taking a sip at that moment.
Yeah. I wanted to lean you in with a very calm voice and drop the bomb on. So yeah, I shit in that, and I was about, I was about 4 years old. So I don't know, just loose sphincter, or I laughed, or just was the intensity of the water, and it just kind of slipped out, and they had to get the catcher, the algae catcher, and they all treated me like, yeah, it happens. But as an adult now, I know I've never seen that happen again, so it doesn't happen very often. But they treated me very kindly, and
it only happens around kids. So like it's one of the things where you're like, you know what, it's gonna happen to some child at some point.
Yeah, I was yep. That was me.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it'll happen to like one child, and then nobody else will have to think about. Like, I do remember as a child at one point going to one of the many pools that's in the area and seeing something floating in there that was definitely not supposed to be there, and having to tell like one of the lifeguards and be like, that looks not like it should be there.
You live in Massachusetts, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was the second time I shit in the pool.
That
was just the only 2 times.
Oh man. Oh, I think, you know what though? I think now that I remember that memory a little bit, I think they blamed me for it. I'm like, I wasn't.
I'm black, you black, yeah, man. Yeah, see, yeah.
I'm like, I wasn't even there. Like, I wasn't wet at all. Like, I had just come out of like the locker rooms to like, and I saw it immediately, and I was like, I think I'm gonna go home.
That was him. He did that.
No, you fit the description.
Yeah, like, but motherfucker, you ain't seen me in the pool. How do you think I did that? I'm not that magical. I'm not the magical Negro. I cannot make that happen. Can't just make shit magically appear in the pool. That's not how that's gonna go unless I am in the goddamn pool. That is the only, and even then, it won't happen. I can confirm this.
Yeah, if your shit in the pool story is that you squatted over a pool, that's psychotic. Like, mine was an accident. But if you were like bone dry and you shit in a pool, like just pulled your trunks down and stood on the edge and just dropped one in the pool, you might be a psycho. Like,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Until you explained what the story was, I thought that was what happened. I was like,
oh yeah, no.
Like, I thought you were just really mad that day.
Fuck this pool. Nobody's swimming in this pool anymore. I'm shitting in it.
Legitimately, but like, I've seen children do that, so like, I'm not like, that wouldn't surprise me. Kids are fucking crazy. I love them so much, but they are so weird. Oh man.
Yeah. So and then in that same pool, on that same vacation, my uncle, who's only 2 years older than me, could swim very well. He jumped in the deep end and he goes, "You can swim, right?" And just at a young age, I was the kid that was like, yeah, of course. Skateboard, no. Yeah, I know how to do that. And I just dove right into the 8-foot, part of the pool and sank right to the bottom.
You know what? I was exactly about to tell the same exact story.
Is that your earliest story?
I was with my dad, but I mean, that's not the one I'm telling, but I was just like, go ahead, hop in. I was like, okay. I never swam. Yeah. I never ever in my life. I just thought you could just hop in and just, it'll all come together.
When you're a kid, it's like, hey, you want some candy? Yeah, I'll take some candy. You want to jump in an 8-foot pool? Yeah, okay. I don't, you don't think about that you can't swim. It's just like, yeah, okay, sure. You offered, so I'll jump in.
But
and
like, the funny thing to me is that we all have that story. All 3 of us have that story. I was like, oh shit, I have the same one. Oh man. I mean, I was thrown in, but like, I was thrown in and just sort of was like, I really like the water, and just sort of sat there, like, no like sense of panic or anything. I'm like, oh, cool water. This is kind of nice. Which is sort of how my personality works, so that kind of makes sense. But
Oh, water's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Technically drowning. Water's kind of fun. I kind of like this.
Yeah.
This is like
Stay
it's very
here
calm.
forever. Oh, I can't breathe.
Like there's no sound. Ain't nobody shouting. This is real nice. I like it down here. Oh, well, fuck. I also need oxygen. Right. Cool. God damn it. Woo. Oh my god. How long did it take for them to realize that you didn't know how to swim?
Oh, immediately. I sank to the bottom like a bag of stones. So, it felt like an eternity while I was down there, but then, my uncle reached down and pulled me up.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just at the point when you get that, like, when your body realizes, oh, you're not breathing now. So your heart starts to, had gotten to that point, and then they pulled me out. But I was at the bottom of the pool. I was at the bottom. I was at the bottom of the pool.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I was like, I hope they didn't wait like super long. I was like, okay.
Well, he jumped in, so clearly he can swim. He must be just, treading water down there, just having a good time.
Realizes he's sitting there.
Yeah. He's really good at swimming. He's 4. He can hold his breath for 5 minutes. That's crazy.
Oh my god. And that is how we hear of crazy true crime cases. Oh my god.
I think we bought you a lot of time with that one.
Yeah. Earth me remind of. I have an older brother, so I have 3 of them actually, but the one I was living with, Brandon, you met. Mm-hmm. You know how they got an older. You hear the stories of you having an older brother, so you get in little fights because they toughen you up.
Mm-hmm.
One day I was about, I think it was like 6 or 7, and then like me and my brother was like wrestling, and then like I like kicked him in the balls by mistake.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then my dad wasn't home, so he like put me in a dryer and like put the dryer on.
Oh my god.
Oh.
And it's one of the dryers you can just kick. You can just like I mean, I'm not saying it's normal to be inside of a dryer, but you can just kick it open and it'll stop. It'll stop on its own.
Oh, okay. So it was one of them ones. I was like, it's one of them fancy ones now.
I did maybe like 2 tumbles.
Okay, cool. So it didn't get like full heat.
No.
Your skin starts sticking to the side of the thing. That could have got funny really quickly.
Yeah, man. Then I had my shoulder was red, and then like I like lied to my dad and said like something bit me because I had like a big.
Oh, I would have snitched on my brother so fast.
I was scared.
Brother, he put you back in the dryer.
Put me back in there. That's not home. So
that's fair.
I'll never forget that. Yeah, it was.
Oh, man.
For the majority of my life, I was the oldest sibling, so like I don't have a whole lot of those experiences.
You were doing it, yeah. You were doing it.
I was like, what? Like that doesn't make any sense. But like, my mom worked at a school, and the kids at that school sort of acted in the role of like older sibling in a lot of cases.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was whatever. But
you got a watered down version of it. You didn't get stuck in any dryers.
Oh yeah, 'cause they couldn't give me an ass whooping. Oh hell no, that's how you fail a class. No, but I only realized I had older siblings like at the year before I graduated college. And realized I'm like, oh shit, I got like a bunch of older brothers. Okay, cool. That's interesting.
What do you mean?
My biological father, who I didn't know who he was until the second year, until the second year of college. I didn't reach out to him until like my 3rd year of college, and then he was like, oh well, since you found me, let me introduce you to the rest of your family.
Oh wow!
And I was like, oh shit, well, okay. Well, there y'all go. I think the funniest part of that though is that I have a younger brother who is a month and 2 days younger than me.
Oh wow. Yeah. I have a similar story, but a little earlier. Mm-hmm. I lived the first 8 years of my life as an only child, and then one Christmas, my dad was just like, oh, I just found out all 3 of these. He passed 3 biology tests. I mean, 3 paternity tests all in a row. And was like, oh yeah, you have 3 5-year-old brothers. Ooh. Here they are.
So the twins and shit?
Yeah, set of twins.
Oh, okay. I was like, were they twins? Oh,
yes.
I'm like, okay. Like, were they twins or was he just out here?
Yeah, set twins from one woman and another woman, one son from, and then just one Thanksgiving. Him and my mom weren't together, but it was like, oh yeah, now you're an only child. Well, I had an older sister that I knew about, but now it's like, oh yeah, you have 3 brothers now, and you're an older brother.
It's a fucking weird moment to realize, like, oh, well, I have younger siblings anyway. Like, I had younger siblings anyway. That was fine. But like the realizing I had older siblings and being like, I don't really know what to do about the fact that I have older siblings. Like, like, what do I tell them? Do I say like, hello?
Yeah.
And like, just leave it there? Like, was good, and then just leave. Like, I don't know. I don't have an answer for what I do. My biological dad is half Jamaican.
Oh, cool.
This is fun. Though that doesn't really translate into a whole hell of a lot. He also only has one arm.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was. I remember that's the only thing I remembered about him from when I was a kid. Because like he and my mom stayed friends or whatever. And I guess I think he knew that I was his kid, but I don't know that he actually knew.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if he was like already in that other relationship while he was with my mom or whatever. I don't know. I have no idea.
The dates are kind of close.
Yeah, the dates don't.
And the assumption that you're one-armed dad, but
I mean, my mom was also in college, so like if she went home for like a break and then went back to school, which honestly the timeline does sort of match up for that to be the case a little bit.
You cracked the case.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that could be it. I don't know. I have no idea if that's actually the case, but hey, whatever. Regardless, I am here. Yeah, it would be more of like a full 2 months if I were born on the actual day I was supposed to be born. I was born 15 days late.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're like, he'll be born March 2nd. March 17th rolls around, and that is when I decide I'm gonna leave my studio apartment.
It is quite cozy in there. Yeah.
I just called my mom a studio apartment, but I hope she doesn't hear that. But anyway, I lazily stroll my ass out at that point in time. I'm like,
you've been on Colored People Time your whole life.
That was the first time I got evicted. Anyway, that got real dark for a second, but okay. It is whatever. It's the only time I've been evicted. It's
yeah, there you go.
Primarily because I live with my parents. It's mm-hmm.
Oh,
they could try, but okay. So now, chronologically, the next question I want to ask is: when did you guys meet each other, and how did that go?
Let me tell us.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, we met from what I remember, you may have no story.
I'll clean up any mistakes.
I met Alvin in middle school, 6th grade.
Yeah.
I think I got in trouble for throwing something across the room.
Yeah.
And I got put in detention.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you got put in detention the day after that.
Yeah.
And then we was the only 2 in detention.
Yeah.
And we just.
Well, we weren't the only 2 in detention.
Oh,
there was a spaz kid in detention.
Oh, shit.
With like throwing a chair across the room the same day.
Was it a black? Black?
Yeah, we were all black.
Okay, I know you're talking.
Got you. No, I'm like, are y'all still in the area where y'all grew up in, or?
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean, probably 15 minutes away from the middle school that we met at. Yeah.
Damn, that's what's up. Okay.
You're closer. He lives. Yeah. He lives probably like 10 minutes away from there, where there's like his girlfriend and his kid. And I'm like 15 or 20 minutes away from there. But it's not a far drive at all.
That's what's up. Like, I'm still in the same town that I grew up in as well. So, like, it's interesting. It's interesting to stay in that same place.
I would assume, if Massachusetts is anything like Baltimore is, I love to travel and everything like that. But this is the best home base in the world because you get all the seasons, no quakes, no tornadoes. It's kind of it's the weather can get messy, but not life threatening.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just to like have a home base and set up shop and everything, you know.
Yeah, like the last time people were like killed by something weather related in my area, because of course I look this up, true crime and things. I just look these morbid ass things up, like when was the last time people died due to like nature?
Mass death, Massachusetts.
Yeah, like I mean, we have one hiking trail that like people consistently fall off of and like die because they fall off of the thing.
That's
so like
fair, though.
yeah, like this past like
why is they like looking over the edge?
That's a great fucking question, because I have traveled up that thing multiple times in my life. There has never been a moment wherein I was ever afraid
that you were gonna die.
I was gonna fall off. And even if I was going to fall off, I was never that worried that like, oh, whatever, I'm gonna hit a tree that's right there, but I'm not gonna like be impaled on the tree or anything. Like I'm just going to like grab onto the tree and pull myself back up onto the thing because the ledge is not that far.
Yeah.
But people stay falling off that thing. I don't know how it happens.
There's
but
somebody over there pushing people off.
Ooh.
Oh. I mean, it also... So, the place that they fall off of is called... Okay, so this is a little fucked up. Just give it, like, going back to Native Americans and things and how we did horrible things to them. We also named a bunch of shit after them, but we did it in a really fucked up way. like it's that particular mountain ledge is called Squaw Peak because an Indian woman, a Native American woman, at some point apparently committed suicide on that, like from that ledge.
Squab, like the slur.
The squaw, as in the
squaw. Oh.
Yeah, as in apparently some sort of Native American word meaning young woman, and I'm actually calling into question whether or not that is a true word that exists. Just because racism, I'm just going to question it. But yeah, so that happened way, way back in our history. But I could see it being like a haunting type situation.
Yeah.
Where like, yeah, somebody be pushing them, but that person is a ghost. Woo!
Yeah.
That's just that could be our local.
Yeah. It could also be death by selfie. It could also be.
I'm sorry. That makes me laugh. I'm horrible for laughing, but it makes me laugh. I'm like,
yeah. I need to get the perfect angle up. You just walk off the edge of the thing because you're
in the fucking herd.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I get the whole background of the city.
You know, I gotta get that right amount of whoop 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 whoop. You know, you just fall off the edge. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Very.
W.E.B. Du Bois lived in my area. Was born in my area. Yeah.
So do you get like a nerdy tourist?
So,
that doesn't like heavy tourism, but like definitely seem like some hipsters will come through. Like, yeah, I want to see W.E.B. Du Bois's house.
Well, so here's the thing. We are a tourist area, but we get mostly like New York's second homeowners. Like, basically, if you are in New York and you are rich and you decide you want to have a second home, there are two places that you are going to potentially go.
Yeah.
Wherein you can still live in the city and go back to the city because you're not done with the city and all of that, whatever. And those places are here where I live and somewhere in fucking Connecticut, which is honestly not that far away from me either.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. Like my specific area is on the border of New York and Connecticut, and also the top of it is near Vermont.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. That's the very specific corner of Massachusetts that I live in, which is all the way at the end of Massachusetts. Like not the Boston end, but the other side. Yeah. Yes, that's the area I live in. But, yeah, he was born here, went to school here, like, early years of school here, and then college at Harvard on the opposite side of the state, if I recall correctly. I think that's how that went. I don't quite remember if that's how that went, but I think that's how it went. But, we don't get a lot of tourism from that, primarily because the town is fucked up and never has publicized that as a fact. Primarily because at a certain point, W.E.B. Du Bois was a supporter of socialism. Which, I mean, sure, but also, like, a lot of people will support shit in theory that they're like, but also let's not, though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And also, it always seems like, he was a socialist. I'm like, I don't know that that's a thing that he would have called himself. I think he may have, in his literature, not called himself that.
Yeah, socialist. You have socialist values. You know,
yeah.
There's just like, people, old white guys would be like, oh yeah, those commies. Communism is ideally, it's not bad. It doesn't always work out because people are people, but the ideas aren't terrible.
If people weren't shitty, communism would be fine.
That's the story.
The
story of everything in the world. If people weren't shitty, there wouldn't be rush hour traffic. Things, like if only people weren't shitty, this would just work so great.
It really fucking would. My God, like. Honestly, one of the things that I'm worried about with going to see Justice League tomorrow is that, like, I hate going into theaters when, like, school has let out, so a bunch of kids are going to be there. And also, yeah, like, ideally I would go at, like, fucking noon.
Yeah.
Like, that's the time to see a fucking movie. Like, go in at noon on, like, a weekday. Even if you have a job, like, go in at noon on a weekday.
Long lunch break.
Yeah, be like, look, y'all. I'm taking the fucking day, which I have the ability to do that with at least one of my jobs where I'm like, I'm taking this fucking day and I'm gonna go see this goddamn movie.
Personal day.
Yeah, and they're sort of like, that sounds fine, you go right ahead. I'm like,
Yeah, I haven't been to a movie theater at like prime time since I was one of those kids.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I definitely was one of those kids.
I mean. It's yeah, like it's sort of
she's dead. Just trying to make everybody laugh. It doesn't always work, but you're just trying to feel out your funny roots.
It absolutely. It's what it is actually is I don't like crowd emotions.
Yeah,
I can't really explain. Yeah, ooh, that one makes me so mad. Also because I will say that earlier because I understand like how certain lines in certain I'm a writer as well.
I felt that before any of you felt that. Mine is genuine. I'm not a sheep. I'm not sheeple.
Or it's even that it's more that like I will be listening to their lines and I'm like, ooh, there's a note of intimacy right there. I see it. Oh my God, that's so cute. Oh my God. Or like there's a gesture somewhere that was far more important than whatever romantic shit they were saying in that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a gesture of like I don't know why I'm thinking of Wonder Woman right now. I'm thinking of did y'all see Wonder Woman?
Oh yeah, I saw Wonder Woman.
Fuck yeah. But like everyone did the woo at the one love scene. But where I had my aw moment was when they were on the fucking boat.
Oh, going back to
going to London.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was when I was like, "Oh, that's so fucking cute! Oh my God, I love it."
They had a lot of moments that were subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like when she was trying on the clothes, and then I liked it because it was the only thing that disappointed me about the movie because I felt the movie was very empowering, but it was like, but it's Gal Gadot. We have to do like she's trying on, oh man, what about this outfit? Like they had to do one of those kind of things just because she's a woman, I guess. But I just thought it was funny to see that in a superhero movie. Like you'll never see that in Captain America, like, Uptown Girl is like putting on.
But do you know how much better?
See that? You'll never see that in Captain America.
Do you know how much better that movie would be if that had that sequence in it? Like I feel personally that pretty much every superhero movie needs a montage of some kind that is set to music that is either funny, super like okay, so do y'all remember Daredevil?
Oh God, I tried not to.
Like I know that was not a great movie, but my favorite
the blind seesaw scene with him and Elektra, like
that was
sawing and oh God,
that was cute to me. But that's because I don't know, like there's something. I like romantic fight scenes. And I can't really explain it, to anybody.
Like the sexual tension of two people fighting, but it's like they're just sparring.
Yeah, I'm like,
that can be hot. That was hot in that movie.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It makes me feel things. I like it. But it was actually the scene. Well, first of all, I'm a huge fan of Evanescence. I've been a fan of Evanescence since I was like.
Get me started, Jake. Why would you say that? Oh my God.
What?
Speed of Life.
Yeah,
I love Amy Lee. She is such an underrated. Go ahead and finish your point. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, I'm so happy that you just made my fucking day. First of all, because I like consistently, I'm like, I have to defend this every time that I say that I'm a fan of this band. Yeah. I was a guest on a show, and I was looking up different like artists that I could bring to the thing. It was it's the show is called Playlist. It's a pretty good show in general. But this particular episode, we were bringing music by gay artists to them, and I was like, I'm gonna focus on bisexual artists because I don't want to erase bisexual people. Yeah. So I picked two bisexual women.
Is Amy Lee bisexual?
No, actually, I didn't pick her. I picked oh god, what is the name of the band? Hailstorm. I picked Hailstorm.
Okay.
And at a certain point, I mentioned my ideal concert trio like setup would be to have Evanescence touring with the Pretty Reckless, which is my other favorite band, and Hailstorm. Like to have all of them in the same thing. And everybody on that fucking panel made fun of me for that. Every single one.
They're like, and then would you go to a Creed concert after that? Oh, you're wrong, okay? Evanescence is great. It's like opera music, but badass. And subtly about Christ.
Right? Like the early shit, maybe. I mean, like I like. Oh god, they just dropped a new album. Side note, it's amazing. Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I only listen to early Evanescence because they just kind of knocked it out of the park, and it's nostalgic. That like 2001, or like when you're so bad, like that, all that. You know, I love it. I have so many playlists of that. I have a playlist of that kind of music, and I was in high school in like 2006, so Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance, Panic,
me too.
All that kind of Paramore, all that kind of stuff. It just takes you back. It just feels fun.
That was my shit back then. Oh my god! Like I've always been more of a rocker type than a pop person, but I still like I listen to fucking everything. But
same.
Like just looking at the playlist that I was listening to when I thought I was going to be seeing the Justice League. I have the theme song from The Flash. I have just because I don't know, I just fucking love it. I have that do y'all remember the trailer for Atomic Blonde from this past year?
I do. The Kanye West song?
Yeah. I have that. So that's on that list.
It's
the personal Yeezus.
Yeah.
I love
the Black Jean songs like I can't remember. Yeah. What is it called?
It's Personal Yeezus.
Oh. Yeah.
It's like it. So it's the Black Skidhead and Personal Jesus, the medley of them. Then I have Imagine Dragons, and then I have like a random indie musician who is amazing, but like also is still an indie musician that like rarely people ever know, and it's fine. But I have that as just like the little like 4-song list, and that's a great like just snapshot of like all of the things I like. There's rock, there's rock, there's hip hop, there's also like alternative rock from before. Yeah, there's a goddamn theme song to a show that I love, and like there's a whole bunch of shit, and I love it. But that scene in Daredevil where she is like getting ready to fuck somebody up because they just killed her dad.
Oh yeah, and she thought he did it.
Yeah, and so
I know this movie. I'm like, you're embarrassing, man. Like I know the whole plot of the movie.
It's fine. I stand up for movies that are like, okay, actually, you know what? We go and jump into a segment that I haven't done in a while, but I love this fucking segment which it's a segment called Defend Your Faves. Now,
okay.
It is a fave that it's a favorite thing that is honestly, like, we know objectively that it's shitty. Like, we know that it's not good, but we love it anyway.
Okay.
For me, like, the early superhero movies are like that. So that's Daredevil and Elektra, because I fucking loved Elektra as a movie, which is weird because it was not great. And I've tried to rewatch it and couldn't. But, like, whatever. So, like, there's that. Oh, also Batman and Robin.
Oh, with the nipple suit?
Yes, but I have
the bat debit card.
It is so
good for forever.
Funny to me.
Expiration date forever.
It is so funny to me. I like that one because of Poison Ivy. Because yes, and also because Batgirl is amazing, and Batgirl was in it, so yay! Always a happy moment. But yeah. So, like, I'm aware that those movies are not good.
Okay.
But I will still watch Batman and Robin if it pops up as a thing that I can watch it. Like, it's just a funny time. It's not great, but it's a fun time.
Oh, yeah.
If I just sort of shut my brain off and just let it happen, I'm like, okay, sure. Turn my brain on hours later when I'm no longer thinking about the movie. Yeah. So, that's the segment.
You got some tough ones to defend, but I respect it.
Well, yes. That's why I'm not defending them. That's why I'm not defending them. I'm going to ask y'all to pick something that you like, that you know is objectively shitty.
Okay.
And defend it to me and try to sell me on it.
I feel like, based on, we're getting to know each other, JV. Yeah. I think these two, I'm going to do two, and I think the two movies I'm going to name, I don't think you're going to think are shitty. So, but people do gloss over them and / may think they're shitty. But my first one is the only musical movie that I watch. I'm not into musicals, but it's one of my favorite movies, and by, process of elimination, because there's no other people in the category, my favorite musical is Moulin Rouge.
Yeah,
all right. Okay. I don't even have to defend it to you. It's a great movie, great songs. It's
you are so right.
Ewan McGregor is great. Nicole Kidman is great. John Leguizamo is great. The songs are great. Oh, it's just a great. And then it's got the guy did one of the Batman movies. It looks great. People might not think these things, but they're wrong.
And it also brought us Lady Marmalade, and let us never forget Lady Marmalade. Like, let us never forget that moment.
That movie birthed a movement. One of the most shocking collaborations of all time in music history came out of that movie.
Oof, yes. My God.
You're on board. I don't even have to defend it to you. You know what? It's great. Everybody knows it's great. And if you don't think it's great, you're wrong.
There it is. And also, that's the last time I looked at Lil' Kim and thought she looked fine.
Yeah.
But
she looks like a small Asian boy now.
That's so true.
It's disturbing.
It makes me so sad. Oh, God.
Like the Asian toy where it's like you open it and it's a little one in that, and you open it and it's another little one in that.
The Russian nesting doll?
Yeah, that. I said Asian, but I meant Russian. Yeah, that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, Russia is both in Europe and Asia, so, like, you weren't wrong.
There you go. I was right.
Like,
roundabout
way, you weren't.
Yeah, you keep opening them. In a roundabout way, I was right.
Yeah.
So we'll move on. And I think my second one, I think you're going to be on board, too.
Right.
Have you ever seen I Am Sam?
I have not.
Oh, if you want to bawl like a newborn baby, I Am Sam. Now, does it's Dustin Hoffman? Does he? No, it's Sean Penn. I'm sorry. Does he cross the line of, he went? What do they say in Tropic Thunder? He went full retard. Excuse my non-PC-ness. He plays a mentally challenged man who has a daughter with a homeless woman, and the woman leaves, and he has to raise his kid by himself. Guess who the kid is?
Oh no.
Dakota Fanning.
Oh no.
This movie's not a comedy; it's a drama, and it's great. And the soundtrack is all Beatles songs.
Oh shit! Oh my God! Okay,
people run away from it. People run away from it because he is very mentally challenged in this movie.
Oh, okay.
It's not subtle at all, but it's great. And the movie is him fight because they find out that he has a kid because she starts to get smarter than him and can manipulate him, and they try to take her away from him. and the whole custody battle. And Michelle Pfeiffer's in it, and she's a boss, and she's mean and bitchy, and she's a lawyer. Oh man, I don't even have to defend it to you.
What is it called?
I Am Sam. It is great.
I'm gonna write that one down.
Write it down.
I'm gonna write it down.
What you think? That movie was great, and I'll defend it to anybody. I Am Sam. Oh my God, so good. All right, friend. Now, it doesn't have to be movies. It could be a song or whatever your choice may be. Fran just pulled up the like poster for it, and he's got his mouth open, kind of drooling a little bit. He went all out, and I think that's why he got snubbed for an Oscar nomination. It was very good. It was tastefully done if you watch the whole movie, but if you watch the trailer, you're like, oh, this is offensive.
Okay.
Oh shit, he was retarded, right?
Yeah,
I seen this movie. Wow.
Yeah.
We're like, I've seen this.
Davey, have you ever seen the Rosie O'Donnell movie where she plays a mentally challenged person?
I have not, but that's primarily because I tend to not watch those.
Yeah, I can't watch that movie. It's terrible, and she, it's basically Rosie O'Donnell being Rosie O'Donnell, but like putting on an affectation, having a mental disorder, and it's not dramatic or funny. I think it was meant to be a drama, but it's like, it's like cringeworthy.
Yeah,
but Sam wasn't cringeworthy. It was good. I'll defend it. I'll defend it to anybody who thought it was like offensive or anything like that. I thought it was good.
Oh yeah, I see this. I thought it was a good movie. I seen this movie.
Because I assume it happens. I mean, everybody has sex. Mentally challenged people have sex too. I would assume that's a story that needed to be told in some kind of way. Somebody saw that related to it.
It does, and I think that would be possibly my only reason that I might not be able to handle it is because I have a little sister who is autistic, and wow. I'm one of her caregivers, so it's one of those things where it's like, oh God, that's a thing that I may have to face at some point, like as a family like thing that we have to look at.
Yeah.
So I might just be like, I don't know.
You're just crying like 5 minutes into it. Yeah, you know what? Maybe scratch it off your notes. Maybe don't watch it because I cry like a bitch every time I watch the movie. If you have personal stakes in it, you won't even be able to make it to the end of the movie. But it is very good.
It's an old movie, but I did see that movie.
It's from like 2000. It's from like 2001. I think it might have been Dakota Fanning's first movie. She's got baby teeth. Great actress. You remember Dakota Fanning's like little kid run.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is like prime Dakota Fanning, like giving you like face and being all dramatic and being sarcastic.
Is she still acting?
She is. I saw a very disturbing movie with her in it called Brimstone.
Ooh. Where
she plays a woman who like got her tongue cut out. It very, very disturbing movie, but very.
Oh my.
Dakota Fanning is one of the only actresses that grew up and didn't get fucked up and isn't.
I was gonna say. That's why I had that question, because I haven't seen or heard from her, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
That's a damn good sign. Like
respectable projects. She's not shooting a sex tape. She's doing respectable projects.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been in the spotlight since she was like 2.
Yeah, and like the last time I heard of anything even close to her was actually her sister in Maleficent.
Yes, she's also very good.
Oh yeah, I love that movie, and she was part of the reason that I loved it.
Yeah. That was with Angelina Jolie, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I enjoyed that movie as well. And she also was doing it at a young age. Because they both have been in Hollywood since they were like 2. You got to give it to the parents. I have to assume they have good parents because, seen that story play out 1,000 times and not end in a good way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Have you seen Lisa Turtle from Saved by the Bell lately?
Oh, I have not, and I will not be looking.
She looks like The Grudge, man.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Pretty much anybody that you can think of, like, I love that show. If you look them up, it's like, oh my God, what happened to them?
Like, what the fuck? Like, looking up people from Disney Channel original movies. First and foremost, looking up those movies makes me sad because I realize how long ago they were.
Oh yeah.
Like, I looked up the 13th Year the other day.
Oh my God. I just got in an argument with somebody about that movie 2 weeks ago about whether he had one fin or if he had 2 merman legs.
Okay,
so I had 2 legs and I was wrong.
Okay, not fully, because he did start off in the movie with those.
Thank you.
Yeah, like, so that did happen.
The girl pulled up the final completion scene when he went off with his mom.
Yeah.
Burst out of the water and he had one big fin. And I was like, oh, damn it. I was like, nope, you're wrong. You're wrong. You don't know anything. You've never seen the 13th year, obviously, because he had 2 legs.
So, like, okay, so here's the deal with that. Here's the deal with that movie. Actually, funny enough, from the time that I was, like, not 13, not when I was 13, but, like, when I was 14 or 15, I helped build a special community for people who liked mermaids a whole lot. And then spent... Yeah, well, there's not really a whole hell else I can explain about that. People who like mermaids and, like, that's a part of their... I don't know, it's just it's a mythological creature that we really like. But here's the thing. That then translated into... Thank you so much for listening, Mixers and Hide and Seekers. I really appreciate and adore every single one of you. I'd love to hear from you. Send me a message on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere. You can check the show notes for the links to all the socials. You can email me at mixterhyde, that's MYXTERHYDE @gmail.com. There are 3 ways you can support the show. You can leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you happen to be listening. You can send the episode to a buddy that you think may want to hear us. Or if you would like to financially support the show, you can head over to patreon.com/mixterhyde. Intro music and outro music are by Aina Haina and Jahzzar, respectively. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great week. Stay safe, stay beautiful, and stay strange, listeners.
You've been listening to a Blazing Caribou Studios production. Support and subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/Blazing Caribou Studios.